All right, Grishoalbrand. Grishoalbrand embodies everything that is fair and balanced about Modern and Magic the Gathering. If you're ever interested in teaching a new player how to play Modern, this is the deck you should show them. You should tell them that every deck in Modern is exactly like this one, and this is what they should expect. Why do we splash blue? I don't actually know if the Steam Vents is good. The Steam Vents, like, theoretically lets you cast Dispersal, but we're like 6 or 7 leagues in now and have never dispersal anything, so maybe we've dispersaled something once, maybe once. So I'm not certain. If you don't want to play the Steam Vents, play a third mountain. Had the pleasure to kill the Bant Fog deck with Angrath's ultimate. That's awesome. All right. Well, it's unfortunate this Temple of Malice is tapped. I guess I'm going to play Blood Crypt and Faithless Looting on one. And if I find an untapped mana source, we can kill them on 2 potentially. City of Brash, Dredge. City of Brash usually means Dredge, or some versions of Ad Nauseam play this card as well. Looks like Dredge. He could... So, if it was Narset Cannon, they would have put themselves on the draw, right? Alright, sweet. I found the land, so we're going to kill our opponent on turn 2 here, most likely. Sit down, shut up, and enjoy the ride. Oh, I did not think the Stream Decker. Good call. Declan appears to be awake. He was napping when I fired up. So we're hoping to avoid them flipping Creeping Chills this turn, because Creeping Chills can make us a little bit less consistent because our health total is a resource when we combo. Sweet. Not a Cathartic Reunion. God bless. Man, look how unfair their deck is. Their deck has 6 power in play on turn 2. That's so unfair. Can you believe that this is a format where Wild Nacatl was banned at one point? I would just, like, as you soak this up, there are people out there that make bad faith arguments that things are on the Modern ban list for a reason. Every card is on the Modern ban list for a reason. This is a format where Wild Nacatl was deemed too powerful at one point, but this has always been legal. At no point was this ever not legal, what we are doing to our opponent currently. So just, like, soak that in and enjoy the logic that is the Modern ban list. All right, I don't have a second Spirit Guide, right? I only have 1. So this puts us to 15, which means I can draw 14 more cards. Let's not forget Bitter Blossom, also a card that was banned at one point. Cast this, place additional spells, cast this, pitch the Spirit Guide. Another Spirit Guide in here somewhere, right? Yeah, sweet. Ooh, got a bunch of Spirit Guides. All right, so we do that. If you've never seen this deck before, you're in for a real treat. Please enjoy. Remember, this is the second turn of the game, by the way. This is the second turn of the game. Put this Griselbrand into play. We splice this Through the Breach onto this Nourishing Shoal. We put Borborygmos into play. And we throw stuff at their face. They're not conceding, so I'm gonna draw my entire deck for good measure. Just put all of them in my hand. Just like go to get the good clean 0 it left in my deck. Oh, you know what? They're not conceding. Let's kill their board too. Just like send a message. Let them know who's boss. That's what this game's about. All right, Dredge. Couple Anger of the Gods. Get in my deck. Collective Brutality out. Night's Whisper out. Sure. Submit. Yeah, could you imagine if they had tapped out for a Stoneforge Mystic on 2 instead of putting 6 power into play? Would have been quaking in my little Grishoalbrand booties. Listen, fun is zero sum, so if your opponent's having none of the fun, that means you're having all the fun. Leyline me, baby, let's go. Oh, that's not a leyline. That's not a leyline. Yeah, the ley lines in our sideboard are for Storm, maybe, and for, the what's it called matchups? The discard matchups. All right, put my Griselbrand in my discard pile. Die magic! Die modern! So this is a deck when people see this deck for the first time and they see games like these first two that we're playing here, people always ask the question like, why don't more people play this deck? This deck beats itself with some consistency. So this deck doesn't really have bad matchups, it has bad draws. This was an 8-turn match punt count. Our opponent took 4 turns. We took 4 turns. 4 plus 4 is 8. Don't try and make Modern sound unfair, punt count. There were 8 turns involved in this match. I have a spirit. I haven't hit a ritual yet, huh? I only have 2 spirit guides, alright. I didn't have an untapped land when I fetched. So if you're asking why I fetch shocked because I didn't have an untapped land. And there was no guarantee that I was going to draw a black source that was untapped. It's a good question. I didn't address that specifically, why I fetched shocked rather than just fetching. My second land I had in hand at the time was the Temple. Man, where are my rituals? There they are. Alright, so now we do the splice under Arcane Tribal thing. So we shoal, splicing additional spells. Yeah, you just sit over there, opponent, and hope that I'm not going to be able to do anything while I've drawn my entire deck. Let me know how that one works out for you. Don't mind me. I'm just over here holding my whole deck in my hand. Just let my whole deck hang out over here. This deck's actually much easier to combo with in paper, because when you're comboing in paper, you can sort your hand based on which cards are relevant and which cards aren't. You just be like, okay, these cards don't matter, like, move them over here. These cards do matter, etc. Cast Through the Breach. There's another Manamorphose or monkey over here somewhere, I think. Yeah, there he is. There he is. And this little piggy went wee all the way home. And like, if you're sitting on the opponent's side of the table here, right? Like, can you even be mad at me? Like, they're playing Dredge, right? So like, being upset that your opponent's doing something stupid to you while you're playing Dredge is like, would be the biggest hypocrite in the world. So like, you know, they tried to do Dredge things. I did Grishoalbrand things, you know, just modern stuff, really. Enjoy your stay. Are we gonna cash every league today? Gosh, I hope so. I actually just bought 300 tickets. Jat was selling a bunch of his Moto stuff, and he offered to sell me tickets, and I was almost out, so I was like, yeah, I should probably load back up if I'm getting a deal. Tilting to lose against Infect is Dredge. Infect's actually really good against Dredge. For a lot of the same reasons that this deck is good against Dredge, which is Infect's average Goldfish is much faster than Dredge's average Goldfish. Although with Creeping Chill, maybe that dynamic has changed. Yeah, Grishoalbrand's good against everything. It's only the only thing that beats Griselbrand is Grishoalbrand. It, with some amount of consistency, beats itself. You'll just be like 40 cards into your deck and just like haven't drawn a Griselbrand or a Goryo's Vengeance. You'll just be like, well, my deck doesn't do anything. That's just how it goes, you know? That's not strictly true, Mr. Fat Pickle. In fact, if you watch the last league we played with this deck, I had a Spirits opponent put Rest in Peace into play on turn 2. We just like cast through the breach and killed them. It was great. It's good clean live-in. Just like kill them while there's Rest in Peace in play. Can I keep this on the play? Probably. Alright, so they're playing a Chalice of the Void deck and a Blood Moon deck. So having to fetch my Blood Crypt here really sucks. Blood Moon's actually not that good against their deck. This deck actually can play Blood Moon sometimes, but definitely need to fetch this way. Awkward. Sure. This card's not unbeatable, it's just annoying. This makes it so Griselbrand doesn't gain a 7 when he comes into play. Because he can't attack. But we do kill them with Borborygmos for a while they're behind the bridge. Having discarded one of my Nourishing Shoals makes the bridge more scary. Which kind of feels bad. So we drew Goryo's Vengeance, which means that this Discovery can ditch a Griselbrand for us. We'll be in a good spot. And even if the Discovery misses, we have a Faithless Looting that we can flash back at some point that'll be useful. Sure, you have a Chandra. The Chandra ticking up here is not irrelevant. Every point of damage they deal to our health total, like, matters. Especially considering we're not going to be able to attack with the Griselbrand. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Here's hoping these months match the amount of turns in this league. What's going on, Skip Dash? Thanks for the 14-3 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. What makes Discovery good in this deck? You want cards in your graveyard. Is what makes it good. That right there, it drew me a card and put a card in my graveyard. So if I play this mountain, I can start splicing this ritual, which is really good for me. So exile this. Oh, I can't splice this yet. I'm dumb. I should have waited to play that land. Alright, now I can start splicing. Well, this deck never played as a charm. For reference. This deck's always been red-black. If you want to find older versions of this deck to see what it played before Discovery was a card, you can find them on my website and on my YouTube channel very easily. Alright, so I've got 3, so I just need 1 more Spirit Guide to kill them here. Perfect. Oh, Shoal does it too, right? So pitch this. Cast Ritual. Cast through the breach. Through the breach. Borborygmos into play. Borborygmos. Pitch 7 lands and kill them. Man, this was such a slow, fair. This was such a fair, slow win. Didn't win till turn 4. We took as many turns this game as we took in the entire last match. Nice on Staring Bridge. Beep him on the nads. Send a message, kill the Chandra. Should have. It was definitely a punt. Alright, so to bring in the 2 Abrades to kill their ensnaring bridges. What do I want to cut? Yeah, Damping Sphere is okay against us. Abrade also kills that card too. I could be greedy and cut a land. That's very true. Cutting Wurm's probably not unreasonable though. Wurm's pretty bad against Ensnaring Bridge. I don't mind, mind cutting one of the 6 green creatures usually. Is Abrade better than Shattering Spree on the side? They're different. Abrade's more flexible. It's possible that, like, Humans has become not popular enough that you could, like, play Shattering Sprees again, but, like, when Humans was a really popular deck, Abrade was very good that matchup. You just, like, bring in a bunch of sweepers and removal and, like, have a decent shot against Humans. Stupid people leaving YouTube comments on my thing are the worst. Read both of... I'm gonna look up a card real quick just to make sure they're... Cute. Alright, I'm wrong. Look at that. See how easy it is to not look like an idiot when you respond to things? It's like, oh wait, I can take 30 seconds to look this up even though I feel pretty certain about what I'm talking about. Oh wait, I'm wrong. I'll just close it out. Moto's written in .NET. I think this hand's a fine keep. This might be a match where the dispersal half of Discovery Dispersal is relevant. Because they're smart, they're boarding out Blood Moons. Because Blood Moon's like pretty bad against us. I'm wrong all the time, ask my wife. I'm gonna bottom that. We're looking for Griselbrands at this point. Looking for Griselbrands and Goryo's Vengeances. One of the things that to keep in mind, so this deck doesn't have a ton of... what's it called? Doesn't have a ton of discard outlets in it. Night's Whispers can theoretically be a discard outlet. Does the Warhammer content perform well enough if they make a streamable client? Maybe. I don't know. I didn't stream a whole ton of it. Definitely lower than Magic. It wasn't much worse than Artifact to set a bar that's low. And I like the Warhammer game a lot. If Warhammer creates a PC client, I'd probably stream it at least one day a week for a few hours. What's the shadow matchup in made-up statistics? Let's say 90-10. It's very, very hard. Well then. Rude. feel bad having just spent an Abrade. I played Amulet Titan recently. Yeah, if you look at my website, it depends on what you classify recently as, I guess. In the last month or so, probably. No, if I would put Cathartic Reunion back in to replace Night's Whisper, I would be playing Cathartic Reunion instead of Night's Whisper. I always find that question so silly. Like, would you play this other card instead of the card you're actually playing? It's like, no, I'm playing the other card because it's the card I prefer to play. Probably dead here. Yeah, opponent's playing Mono Red Prison. It is a damping matrix. It turns off the activated abilities of creatures. This actually makes me want to put the last Worldspine Wurm back in so I can like have through the breach kills potentially. Because they're bringing in things like Hazoret and Eidolon. They might be boarding out their bridges. Yeah, very dead. Sure. If you want to warp your deck for the mono red prison matchup, I agree the Shattering Spree is very good. Yeah, we could shoal. So like, here's the thing that a lot of people don't get that'll help you concede earlier in tournament Magic, especially. Magic isn't a game about not dying. Magic is a game about winning. And I could pitch the Borborygmos to the Shoal to not die, but then like, what does winning look like from there? Yeah, maybe a worm, but I'd cut a worm for my deck at that point. I guess. Just needs a Through the Breach. It's got some looks to find it. To do a little bit of digging. I love that Magic Arena stacks this card in like a readable way in your hand. I keep the Abrade. Bin the Faithless Looting. Cause like we draw the Faithless Looting by binning it basically, right? The back half of it anyways. All right, what do we got? So I've got A Griselbrand for the bin and a Griselbrand for my hand in case I draw a Through the Breach next turn. I think I want to ditch the Bloodstained Mire to keep the Steam Vents for the Dispersal potentially. I assume they're playing a hate piece of some sort this next turn. Why else do they keep a hand that doesn't do anything? They could have like a Surgical Extraction too, potentially. Or like a Ravenous Trap, some kind of graveyard hate. Feel like we're gonna see some type of 3-mana permanent base disruption here. Just Chandra, sure. So they must have some kind of hate card in their hand. Some kind of graveyard hate or something. I get 4 looks at a Goryo's Vengeance next turn. I get 1 look at a Through the Breach. All right, well, Double Abrade gives me some tools against potential hate cards. Woof. All right. Need to do stuff next turn. The deck is mean and I'm a villain. It's definitely a villain style deck. That's the truth. Discovery looks at a lot of cards. Digs really deep. Turns out Preordained Plus worth the extra mana when you're a graveyard deck. Yes, yeah, it's also black, right? Like this deck couldn't cast Preordain for the most part. It can cast Discovery. Sure. That's annoying. Not the end of the world, but annoying. Means I have to spend 2 mana upgrading them next turn, which is like not exactly what I want to be doing with my life, but it's where we're at. They don't have a piece of graveyard hate here, they're likely dead. Alright. I already lost 1 Spirit Guide here too, right? I binned one earlier. So there's only 2 Spirit Guides in my deck at the moment. I think I actually want to attack the Chandra, because there's a chance I brick off here. And I'd rather them not have a Chandra in play if I brick off. And like, if I do combo, killing them from 18 should be the same as killing them from 11. Let's put this land into play here before I misclick potentially. So I have 2 shoals at the moment. Alright, perfect. So they're dead. I get to cast this. Exiling this. I get to cast Faithless Looting There's a couple different ways that that we get there. So I can Faithless Looting, ditch the Borborygmos, Goryo's Vengeance back the Borborygmos. This technically loses to Ravenous Trap that I didn't expose myself to before. It's like maybe I'm supposed to play around Ravenous Trap. Pretty unlikely though. Oh yeah, I could just Splice Breach too. Yeah, Splicing Breach is better. I had enough monkeys to do that. Definitely should have just Splice Breach and not exposed myself to Ravenous Trap. That's fine. It's fine. We're here. Look at that. Didn't kill them till turn 5. What a good honest match of Magic the Gathering. We're winning so many matches tonight, chat. I don't understand what's going on. I don't know. I'm scared. This is, I think we've won more matches of Modern tonight than I've won in like the last month. I was incinerating tickets at like a breakneck pace. We were basically a control deck there. We like had Abrade to interact with the opponent's Sorcerous Spyglass. Just incredibly interactive. Too bad this won't fix the MMR last night from Arena, right? Unfortunately. Time for 3 straight Grixis of Shadow. Yep. We've been playing this league for 30 minutes already and we're only 2-0. This league's going so slowly. 30 minutes in, we should be 3 matches in by now, not 2. Am I going to the NRG thing on the 12th? I'm not sure. We're closing on a new house on the 10th, supposedly. So... and also, like, Illinois in the winter. Declan actually had a really good time playing Smash Brothers with my brother-in-law over the holidays, so I might get it for him for our Switch. Alright, well there's the Goryo's Vengeance, so we'll draw and discard Griselbrand and then kill them on 2. Rats! Why are we so unlucky, chat? Why are we so incredibly unlucky? Maybe I'm supposed to keep the 3rd untapped land there. It might be right to keep the 3rd untapped land. I need to put these altered lands in BCW sleeves, because these sleeves, she sent them to me in, just like do not shuffle nicely. Like sitting here flicking these lands through my hand, I'm like, these sleeves suck. It's like, all right, let's unsleeve some of these shuffling deck cards and get them in. Get them in the nice sleeves. Second Grim Boy has diminishing returns here. I think because they're playing a burn deck here, I'm probably supposed to play the Temple and then play Faithless Looting rather than Night's Whisper. I'd kind of like to preserve my health total against what's likely a burn deck. Yeah, I'll hold the Alter Lands up here in a second. And put them in the new sleeves so they stay nice. I think that's the line. I think I Temple, bottom anything that's not a pig. Then cast Looting. You are not a pig. And like, if I miss on a pig this turn, I can flashback Looting next turn. Yeah. These are the, I just put them into the BCW Elite Guards, which are the higher end sleeves that one of my sponsors makes. And these altars, actually, this altarist was actually, I got these sent to me because she wanted me to show me some of her altar qualities. The Swamp and the Island are my favorite. So, Hurly Burly Altars. HurlyBurlyStudio.com. Burning Tremissary. Okay, interesting. Why does Modern need to be less degenerate? Modern's great. Stop trying to make Modern less degenerate. People love Modern. All right, 2 more shots to the pig. And this is like, again, when people always ask, like, why doesn't this deck see more play? This game's a great example of why this archetype doesn't see more play. Just like, our draw was very good, but there just like hasn't been a Griselbrand in the top quarter of my deck, so we're struggling. Confusion is bliss. Thanks for the biddies. Oh yeah, there's a picture with them on the bigger camera too. Look at that. There we go. All right, so hopefully it's not too late, and we'll have enough health total to like win the game next turn. We might be a little bit far off though. And it looks like they're playing some kind of 8-whack like thing, most likely. Does this non-attack with the Grim Lavamancers represent another Stoke the Flames? Perhaps. Hopefully they don't have Skullcrack. Oh, I totally could have kept the second one for Borborygmos. Good call. It's fine. We drew a third because we're nothing but professionalism here. You're super right that I should have kept the other one for the Borborygmos, though. Magic's a skill game, etc., etc. Low variance, all that jazz. Tilt, spin to shoal. All right, just got to draw 2 lands here. I'm not gonna dick around with like hitting their creatures because I don't want to risk them killing me in response to me drawing more cards. They have like double bolt. Man, that was a slow draw. Didn't kill him till turn 4. Yeah, you can link altars you have in chat, Janice. That's fine. Magic related things are always fine to have in chat. All right, so I'm gonna put Collective Brutality in. Usually you just cut all the Night's Whispers against these decks. I don't think I want Leyline of Sanctity. Their deck's kind of creature based. I think I'm just gonna bring in some more removal spells. I'm gonna bring in Fatal Push and a Lightning Axe. Seems fine. I don't know exactly what the opponent's doing. So I don't want to... Well, the most important thing to remember when you're sideboarding with this deck and you're struggling with how to sideboard, less is more. Every card we put into our deck that isn't forwarding our primary game plan is diluting it. Yeah, turd 4 kill with Grishoalbrand unsub. Fetch a Blood Crypt tapped, cast Discovery next turn. Wonder if they have a rest in peace here. Grimboy, sure. Garrick, Predator of Scrubs. Thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. So, altars, being tournament legal or not, always at the head judge's final discretion. So if you have altered cards, you should always show them to the head judge before you play. If you look at the Magic tournament rules, there are some loose guidelines for these types of altars are generally always tournament legal, but the final say is always at the head judge's discretion for whatever tournament you're playing in. All right, we're just like looking for a Gristle Pig here, right? So let's just like bin both of these. It's worth noting that like the Steam Vents has been a little bit awkward in a couple of these games. I think there's a good chance this should just be a third mountain. MTR, yep. 3.3. Confirmed playing 8 whack. Looks like we're dead. Griselbrand. Griselbrand. All right, so I'm technically not guaranteed dead here. I guess I should have kept the Faithless Looting. So because I drew the Goryo's Vengeance here, I could loot into a Griselbrand. We did not, so we're dead. Breach the ape. We've got a breach. There's been a breach. The monkeys are upon us. Please, please, will somebody think of the monkeys? The monkeys are coming. The monkeys are coming. How do you sideboard elves versus Titan Shift? You cut the scavenging oozes and you bring in the extra lead the stampede so you can recover after their sweepers. Could Anger of the Gods be okay here? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I feel like by the time I'm casting Anger of the Gods, maybe it's better than these 2 pieces of spot removal. Yeah, maybe the Axe and the Push would be better as Anger of the Gods. I don't know. By the time like their board gets big, we're probably taking a hit already anyways. So this hand's looking for Faithless Looting, cards that draw cards, Goryo's Vengeance, Through the Breach, stuff like that. We got Faithless Looting to slow down whatever their start, or Fatal Push to slow down whatever their start's going to be. Yep. Yeah, like, I guess if this Fatal Push was an Anger, I'd be in a much better spot here, right? They'd be taking a bigger hit this turn, but they'd be losing their entire board. Yeah, I think that suggestion's a good one. What are some tips for running a stream live? Have a computer that works. Be organized, be consistent. So you're saying there's a chance. There's no longer a chance, chat. We are dead. On the off chance their hand has no damage output, we could win next turn. All right, onward, upward, backward, forward. And again, that's just how it goes, you know? There's gonna be a lot of games you lose, or just like there's no Goryo's Vengeance in the top 15 cards of your deck, and you just die. And when you run good, you're gonna run people down. But when you don't, you're just gonna sit there and not do a whole lot. You're gonna twiddle your thumbs while your opponent plays Magic, and you die. If you are in search of a deck that generates good games of Magic, this is not it. Basically, good games of Magic with Grishoalbrand don't exist. Someone is leaving unhappy regardless of the outcome of most match. Can a mod unban Red Eye and give them a timeout? I clicked the wrong button. as always, feel free to read the Twitch chat rules. You'll feel much better and not get timed out if you read the Twitch chat rules. Because unlike many channels on Twitch, I enforce my chat rules. So you're gonna get a 10-minute break if you try to backseat game without specifics, without being constructive. If you want good games of Magic, please go play Standard. That's solid advice right there. That's the one who's better around the block. That's a great copy pasta, Squid Squad. A plus. I appreciate the effort. All right, this league might be picking up the pace here. This could be likely Grixis Shadow, which means I can concede and go to the match number 5. Looks like Grixis Shadow. Yes, today is just Modern. I have a little bit of a backlog of Modern decks I need to get through from before I increase the price, the minimum price, so need to play through these, get things under control. And then I assume the queue is going to self-correct a little bit since I increased the price. Modern is where you will go if you want to play more powerful Magic. Just remember your opponent is probably playing something more powerful for you, and if you didn't pack sideboard cards for it, good luck. Godspeed. What's the new pricing? It's a minimum of $25 for Magic Online deck submissions now. Just to try and balance out the much lower viewer count I have when streaming Magic Online versus streaming Magic Arena. This Faithless Looting was bad. I should have cast Discovery this turn rather than casting the Faithless Looting, I think. That was a mistake on my part. And the reason why that was a mistake is Discovery would have helped me find Dig to a Griselbrand sooner. And then if I missed, I could have Faithless Looting plus Goryo's Vengeance on turn with 3 mana the following turn. What's going on, Oratog? Thanks for the biddies. I appreciate the support. Yeah, tier 1 subs are $25 for Magic Online deck list. Non-tier 1 subs are $35. I think tutoring just not going to be practical, DM. Just a little bit too hard to coordinate. I have something big-ish in the works that's going to be incentive for me to stream live more, which means I'm going to be, which is why I've increased my schedule moving into the new year to being, 40 plus hours a week live. So hopefully I'll be able to share details on that soon. Yeah, I'm going to be done here. The Death Shadow matchup where they have Summer Denial is just pretty unwinnable. So, just going to move right along. They just have so much disruption. Yep, yeah, tier 3 subs still get 1 submission every month with their sub. Yeah, I just actually, if you're a sub and you haven't checked your Twitch email, the email address associated with Twitch, I should be plugging this tonight in the next couple of days. I sent out my end of the year sub survey to gauge what people who pay me want to see on my channel. So if you want to have input on sculpting the content that's on this channel, please go and vote in the sub survey that I sent out. And if you are subscribed and you do not see that sent to your email, you should pop into the subs Discord server, and there's a link there in the general chat. Oh, this hand, probably not good enough. Just really needs a second land or a Faithless Looting. Well, I'm gonna keep this on the draw with the Scry. That's not the red source I wanted for Christmas, but I think it's a keep. Spirits can be tough. Not Grixis Shadow impossible to concede, but it's a harder matchup for sure. Straight blue-white spirits, maybe some kind of Leonin Arbiter deck. Leonin Arbiter decks are easier than spirits, that's for sure. Probably have Spellqueller though. We'll see exactly what they're doing here, hopefully. When's the last date we can submit decks before the new set comes out? You mean like decks for this current format? It depends on whether or not you mean standard or modern. Getting Medallion clicked. You meant standard. It depends on how much you're donating for, Pino. So the decklist queue I just play top to bottom, and I don't really have control over like what other people submit. So it's just kind of a first come first serve basis based on how much you donate for a deck for. Thanks for being here, Tactical Rainbow. Thanks for helping me continue to make content. My hand's pretty good here. Like I don't have a Goryo's Vengeance and I have 2 Griselbrands, so this click doesn't do a whole lot. It's pressure, but that's about all it does. Wow! Woof! Woof! There's a big old cup of nope. Top 10 anime betrayals. I loved you, Spellstutter Sprite. I loved you, and this is what I get. All right, this is probably pretty close to impossible. If they have like Spellqueller too, or like fairies and Spellquellers and stuff. I'm gonna bring in a couple of removal spells, I guess, and trim a couple Night's Whispers. They're probably pressuring my health total. Whew! I was worried we were gonna cash 2 leagues in a row. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. I was like, where did my ticket incinerating go? Where did my ticket incinerator go? If I'm not losing $4 a league, losing a bunch of money playing Magic Online leagues is also part of the reason why I increased the cost for Magic Online stuff. Like, it often costs me somewhere between $7 and $4 per league we play on Magic Online, which really adds up over time. So between the lower viewer count and the amount of direct money it incinerates to play Magic Online, the increased price just has to happen. Weird, Whitman. That's so strange. You're not the only one. Other people have said they don't get emails from me too. It's why I always like to mention that I put it in the Discord as well. This hand's great. Just needs a Goryo's Vengeance. And like again, it's like one of those hands where you're like, well, this hand's great, but like if I don't draw Goryo's Vengeance like the next 6 or 7 cards, it might not do anything, right? Unfortunately, I don't have another way to contact the subs. If I had another way to contact people, I would, but Discord and the send email option are the only ones I've got. All right, Goryo's Vengeance, please. Well, I guess I'm just hitting land drops so we can through the breach here, right? How cold is it in Illinois? We are below freezing. We're below freezing at the moment. You have beaten my graveyard opponent. My graveyard is not doing anything this game. Someone checked your winning and loss on Moto for the entire 2018. Now, that'd actually be an interesting metric to have, I think. I know for a fact I'm down tickets and match points for this year though. Janice, I purchased $200 or $300 worth of play points at the end of last year, at the end of 2017 when they had a sale, and I've purchased $500 worth of tickets this year alone. So I've definitely lost money on Magic Online in terms of, like, obviously, like, this is my job and, like, streaming is making me money, but, like, I'm definitely having to pump money into Magic Online to continue to play viewer submitted deck lists. I will pin the survey link. Where is it? Survey is now pinned in the general channel in the sub Discord. All right, if we draw an untapped mana source next turn, we get to breach Griselbrand and play and maybe kill them. Yeah, meme Monday went on much longer than it should have. Meme Monday very quickly turned into lose lots of tickets Monday. No, I haven't cashed out this year. So before I was playing, before I played viewer submitted deck lists, when I was only playing deck lists that I wanted to play with builds I liked, I was regularly cashing money out of Magic Online. But that is no longer the case since I started doing this full time and doing all viewer submissions. Correct. Very, very much not infinite. And, like, this isn't, like, paper Magic, right? Like, I'm definitely up money on the year, having, like, lost a bunch of money playing these viewer submitted deck lists, but because every deck gets, you know, a minimum of $10. So, like, people are putting 10 in, I just, like, lose a lot of that. So, like, it's not profit, it's just, like, a wash at that point. I didn't say I don't like viewer decks, I just said they're expensive compared to playing on Magic Arena, where I can just play on the ladder or whatever for free. Griselbrand, we went 2-3, sometimes we 2-3, sometimes we 3-2, sometimes we 4-1. I don't think we've ever 5-0'd. Deck's fun. It does what you expect it to do. Hit 2 bad matchups, lost. Hit 2 good matchups, won. Hit a matchup, the other matchup that was good, drew bad, because that's what this deck does sometimes, lost. Just how the cookie crumbles. Whole league was done in 57 minutes and 30 seconds, which is exactly what you expect Griselbrand to do, so